All right, y'all. I don't know if I'm going to be able to record much or not. I've been sick for the last couple of days and just laying up in the bed, feeling rather bored. Thought I'd try to do this. Back at the beginning of the month, I read from my reality journaling the idea that this place might be hell, and that was just a quick reading, kind of for fun. But there's a second part to it, so I thought, why not? And since the theme was hell, I thought this might be interesting too. My daughter posted this art that she was working on, and I was like, well, "What is that supposed to be? Hell?" She's she just laughed like, "No," but okay. Um, so ever since that God encounter in 2016, I'd say that I was given an expanded awareness of my surroundings. Even though before that, I mean, I knew about a lot of the other governmental shystery that's going on in the world back in 2008. But even after 2016, I started to see I just felt like I knew the intentions of others around me, and they just weren't that great. Like it was disappointing just to see and understand what the motivations of people around me were. And what else would we expect but that in a hellish realm? Once your awareness expands, your eyes aren't just open. It adds to the weight of your existence here, a weight on your shoulders. The motivations that I perceive around me are rarely noble. They're frequently cruel. The truth of why people say what they say or do what they do or level their acrid criticisms is almost always uglier than the facade they present. And then the knowledge of these motivations has made my time here all the worse. So it comes with a price having these awarenesses, and it's saddening that it has to be this way, or that so much of it's around me all the time. Awareness isn't just a pure gift that it's that spiritual leaders and thinkers will market it to be. It's a double-edged sword. It allows you to see through the fog, but once the fog is gone, what's left isn't all that pretty. Awareness is clarity, and clarity can be cruel. Yeah, if my daughter wasn't trying to depict hell, I don't know what she was trying to depict, but I thought it was terrible how she just took that pretty face she drew, kind of a self portrait of her, and just smeared that black all over it. So terrible. Anyway, let me continue. This brings me to yet another area where my awareness has grown. And this particular realization has increased suffering. It is a paradoxical awareness that much of my suffering is unnecessary. The truth should be helpful, but in some ways, it only makes things worse when you know something is unnecessary. Yet you're powerless to stop it. It amplifies the sting. This awareness ties directly into my recent waking dream. Well, this was like the beginning of December, so it's not so recent, but this is just like what I wrote back then. The recent walking dream where I was in trouble with the boss for walking wrong, and the theme of criticisms that dominate my life in this realm. So, drum roll, please. Here's the awareness. The awareness is that I've become cosmically, inexplicably magnetized to receive criticism. I am a black hole for every complaint, jab, and unfounded accusation from the creatures dwelling around me in this shared hell. You could say it's just my perception, but I know that it's not. The evidence repeats itself every single day, hour by hour. Consider the the following real-life example unfolding as I speak. Over the last year, I'll give you something else to look at. Over the last year, I identified an issue with the urinals in the restrooms of this building I manage or help manage. It's not a glamorous topic, but in hell, urine plays a role in the theater of suffering. Heavy use restrooms have a problem. The urinal pipes, they clog due to mineral buildup from repeated and heavy use, leading to a disgusting smell and maintenance nightmares. It's not just unpleasant, it's just a time bomb. I raised this issue to those in authority and even offered a solution. Treat the urinals with such and such a chemical on the overnight shifts. It's a preventative chemical to keep the urinals and the wall pipes clear. It was a simple and proactive measure. What was their response? All I got was a dismissive smirk, and the, in quotes, experts around me claimed they'd never heard of such a thing. My warnings were waved off as absurd. That was about a year ago. Fast forward to today. The urinals are now in terrible shape, clogging, overflowing, and requiring frequent, ineffective fixes. The situation has escalated to the point where entire units need replacing, and aggressive pipe augering is causing damage that leads to even bigger problems. Now the finger pointers have arrived, turning their wrath on me. Apparently it's my fault for not being ahead of the issue. I reminded them that I was ahead of the issue. I raised the alarm over a year ago. Their response, I should have complained louder and pushed harder, as if the blame rests on me for their failure to act, instead of being respected as the person who saw the problem early and tried to elevate their awareness. I'm treated with scorn. I'm the scapegoat. Business as usual. Just another day in this hell. Meanwhile, in this backwards world, I watch others make blunders that should be negatively called out, yet they're publicly praised for their incompetence. I see people offer idiotic solutions that solve nothing, yet they're rewarded with smiles, nods, and group emails with praise. It's as if the entire construct is inverted, where logic and reason are luxuries this hell cannot afford. What makes it worse is the awareness that all of this, the criticisms, the manipulations, the absurdity, it's unnecessary. It doesn't have to be this way, but hell seems to thrive on pointless suffering. It thrives on the cycle of pain perpetuated by people too blind or too cruel to see any other way. But what does this awareness mean in the grand scheme? Am I here to endure this place as some form of penance? To burn through karma? Or learn some incomprehensible lesson? Or am I here because I wanted to understand the cruelty of this place at the expense of my own peace? The urinal problem. These urinals are just one example in an endless series of absurdities. This place, this construct, this backwardsness, truth doesn't win here. Awareness does not liberate. And reason is just a stranger in this hell. All I can do is endure, observe, and write it down. Maybe that's my purpose, to document the insanity for others who may one day see through the fog, even if they don't yet fully understand what's waiting. Shortly after I wrote that above piece, almost immediately after, it was pretty close. I just wrote that, and then this happened. So I just continued to write some more since that occurred. So I'll continue. Sometimes I swear reality reads my journal and decides to throw in an extra shellacking just to help hammer the point home. Right after wrapping up my earlier journal entry here, A real-life example landed squarely in my lap, courtesy of my loving coworkers, in this fluorescently lit slice of hell. Let me set the stage. Imagine being packed into a building so tightly that it feels more like a human sardine can than an office. The overlords expect us drones to churn out relentless keyboard productivity, staring into retina-destroying screens while bathed in the unforgiving, overly bright glow of fluorescent lights. The lumen levels here could rival the surface of the sun, making it a perfect work-from-work dystopia. Add to this delightful setting a daily cast of characters, co-workers, who are masters at dodging responsibility and turning their aimless potshots squarely on me. Why me? Who knows? Despite carrying more responsibility, putting in far more hours, avoiding the psychopathic kiss the boss's ass game, and willingly helping others with their work, I somehow end up being the office scapegoat. The gossip mill paints me as the odd one, the butt of every whispered jab. And then this happened. This little oopsie doodle text message came to me. My phone dinged. A sound that has become so constant that it's practically noise, white noise, thanks to the endless stream of pointless group chat messages about work. But this time it was different. Immediately after the ding, coworker Craig, seated just across from me, sheepishly said, "Sorry, Scott, that text was meant for someone else. We were just talking shit." Oh joy, another hellish gift, wrapped up in corporate passive aggression. I opened the message and saw exactly what Craig had accidentally sent to me instead of his intended recipient. His reply, apparently in response to someone asking him what I was doing at that particular moment, read, "Scott is just sitting there doing nothing. His shoes are off and his feet are resting on the desk frame." Thank you, hell. Truly thank you for your swift delivery of this masterclass of pettiness, confirming my observations about this miserable existence. Now let's break it down. Just to add a few things. First, Craig wasn't entirely wrong. At that moment, his text was sent. I was doing nothing. But here's some context he conveniently left out. I arrive at this dungeon at 5 a.m. every day, way before anybody else. And too often, I hit the ground running. I hit it hard most days, and I don't even take a proper lunch break. I just work right on through. Today included. I snack sometimes at the desk, but I soldier on while others shuffle off to a cafeteria or disappear for extended breaks. So yeah, sometimes I allow myself a moment to do nothing. I'd call it a desk break, but apparently that's too much for the self-appointed productivity police to tolerate. Perhaps I should hang a sign from my desk that says something like, "Alert, the person you're observing now is not slacking off. They are simply enjoying a lunch break without the food." Or if I really wanted to have fun with it, I could take a religious angle. I could announce my midday repose is part of a sacred ritual, something holy that requires me to lean back, feet resting on the desk frame, in contemplative silence. Since saying Christ in the office is taboo now, I could align my practice with a faith less likely to attract criticism. A Muslim tradition might work that would probably get a free pass. Or I could go full satire and claim I'm conducting a ritual straight out of the Book of Satan. That might even earn me Employee of the Month around here. In this upside down and backwards world. Better yet, I could tie my lazy posture to a gender identity that would likely elevate me to the golden child in record time. Scott wasn't lounging. They are just expressing their slacker identity. Suddenly I'd be untouchable and shielded from all the criticism by the glowing force field of approval. Craig's text is just another reminder of the fundamental truth that I can't seem to escape. This world operates in direct opposition to reason. Here I am, Showing up early, working hard, taking on more responsibility than most, and helping others succeed, yet I'm the one being ridiculed. Meanwhile, I watch others, including Craig, spend their days dodging tasks, dropping the ball, and churning out mediocrity, only to be celebrated for it. In this upside-down construct, it's really not what you do that matters. It's how you're perceived or received by the other occupants in hell. Yet, there are some in this place that seem to like natural. They seem like they're naturals. They're like denizens to the environment. Craig's snide commentary about my lax demeanor wasn't just petty. It was an example of the absurdity of this entire charade. While I've been grinding away, he's been watching me closely enough to critique my posture and my legs out of view and under the desk. If that doesn't scream of misplaced priorities, I don't know what does. And yet, here I sit enduring all because I've chosen to be here, I guess. I signed up for this job, or whatever it is. Awareness tells me this: hell isn't just a place. It's a system, a way of being, where reason is turned on its head, and those who should be praised are scorned, and the incompetent rise to power. What other way could hell be? I should add a postscript, because shortly after that I received my annual raise, which was only 2%. I don't think in my life I've ever received less than 3%. And these days, with inflation going through the roof, it just smacks even more coldly that the raise was only 2%. And the letter has the nerve to say, congratulations, you've earned a 2% merit increase. Congratulations. Okay, so I'm going to end it at that because I've had to pause this thing 100 times just to stop the cough. I'm going to try to fight through the rest of the day and get some more rest. Have a good day yourselves, and God bless.